Well, hello guys. Thanks very much for clicking another video, really appreciate it. I thought, why not come out and start the year off properly and go out for an overnight trip. So yesterday it was really hot. It was 40 degrees where I live, absolute stinker. So today's fortunately a bit more mild. It was as high as about 34, 35 on the drive out here. Had about a 2.5 hour drive, but now it's there's some sort of weather moving through. I've been listening to thunder for the last 15 minutes or so, but it seems to have blown over thus far, which is great. But it's about 28, 29 degrees, but it's really muggy and I'm just drenched already in sweat. So today's plans are really just to hang out and enjoy the awesome Aussie bush. I'm hiking down a really steep valley into a place called Lake Urunga. It's formed by the Shoalhaven water scheme. I mean, my very favourite part of the world, it's Moultrie National Park. This is where I always love to come. I haven't been here for about 7 or 8 years, I think, so it's been a while, and the plan is really just to hike down and find a spot overlooking the lake, and probably the back end into Urunga Creek, and then yeah, hopefully, look, I've got the fishing rod, go for a swim, hopefully catch some fish, just hang out and enjoy this amazing place. So yeah, stick around. So I did have a question recently about how I navigate out in the wilderness. I use my phone. I know that sounds cheating, and hey, I'm not professing to be a purist. Technology is amazing and it gives you really great, precise access to information. So I've got an app called Backcountry Navigator, and you can see I've downloaded the maps to my phone, and it gives you sort of real-time location of where you are in relation to topographic maps. I've also got aerial imagery on here. I can switch over and see what the country looks like. Yeah, really nifty. I use this a lot. I do have a backup GPS device as well. I have a Garmin InReach Explorer, which is actually a satellite messaging device, which is one of my safety devices, but that has mapping and GPS capabilities too. It's a lot less advanced than this, it's more rudimentary, but it's a good backup if this was to fail. So yeah, that's how I do it. You never know when you're on these kind of old closed trails. I had a pretty detailed look at the satellite imagery and I couldn't see it, so the canopy's long since grown up now. But every now and again you get a win, and the trail is really still open, and it's a nice gradient, beautiful forest around here too. So it's yeah, I'm hoping I can get to where I want to get to pretty quickly actually. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to bush bash for 3 or 4 kilometers, but yeah, it's working out pretty well. This trail is amazing. I've rarely seen a trail out in the bush that's as well built as this one, and it's probably why it's still in fairly good nick. Have a look at this. A full wall of natural stone just propping it up, and yeah, the gradient's really good too, so this is awesome. Just have a look at it. This is really quite an amazing bit of engineering. Oh man, have a look at this. That would be, oh geez, I reckon 70 meters high. Beautiful palm tree. This is kind of what I like about finding your own way. So yes, I am following a track, but it's an old abandoned one, and I found it by looking at maps. Never been to this particular part of the world before. I've been off the main track and further into the valley on the other side, but never around here. Oh, it's just awesome. And yeah, really surprised by how well it's built. I've never seen a road this well built in the bush before. It's just amazing. So it must have been before they put the dam in, which I think went in the early 70s. This must have been a main linkage to probably went to Beehive Point. Must have been, yeah, pretty important road. Oh, awesome. Alrighty, so I've come down the trail as far as I can. I'm now gonna jump off into the bush over that way, and it doesn't look too bad in there, but yeah, geez, it's so hot and muggy today. I'm just completely drenched and the bag is feeling pretty heavy right now, so be very glad to get to camp. So I'm basically just going to take a westerly bearing. I do have a small compass on my watch, which is useful for things like this. It's not as good as a full-size compass. Well, I made that a lot harder on myself than I needed to. This goes to show, always need to double check when you're out here. Whoop, there go the glasses. Didn't look at the maps properly when I was walking down, so I came a little bit further down the trail than I should have, and as a result I had to cross an extra little creek. And it's pretty steep. It cost me a couple hundred meters in vertical actually, so I'm just about done now, to be honest. But now I'm on top of the ridge that I was aiming for. This will take me down to a little peninsula on the lake. But yeah, it just goes to show you always got to pay attention to everything out here. It's nearly 5 o'clock actually, so I'm a bit behind schedule, but that's okay. It's going to be light down here till probably 8:30-ish, so I've still got 3.5 hours light, and I've just got a tent with me, so it won't take long to set that up, providing I can find some flat ground, which will be the next thing. Completely wrecked. Oh, crikey. I am completely knackered. But the good news is I've hit my objective. I'm sitting on top of this nice spur that goes right down to the river, which has been dammed, so it's now a lake. And so hopefully I'll have access on 180 degrees of the peninsula to water. So that'll be awesome for fishing, for swimming, and just for setting up a cool camp. Now my only concern is whether or not there's going to be enough flat ground down there to put the tent up. There's only one way to find out, and that's to go down and have a look. Oh, I'm just knackered. Alright, let's do it. Well, I made it down to the water, and unfortunately the news isn't terrific. Yeah, unfortunately because it's an artificial water body, it's pretty much steep slope up until the water, and there's very little flat ground. So I have just had a quick walk around, and I have found some flat ground. It's not what I was hoping for. It's not great, but it'll have to do. I'm really feeling like I've hit my limit in terms of physically what I can do at the moment. The last hour's been really tough. It's been a very difficult descent, and yeah, just really not feeling very well at the moment. So I need to find a spot to camp and yeah, drink some water and relax for a bit. So, oh god, if it was early in the day and I had more time and I was feeling better, I'd definitely walk up and down and find a better camp spot, but I just don't have it in me today, and if I keep going I'll make a mistake and hurt myself. So it's not going to be the worst spot I've ever camped. Not the best either, but that's alright. Oh, gee. Oh. Tough day at the office. Started off pretty good and got progressively harder. Alrighty, well, it's probably been about an hour or so since I last spoke to you guys. I've had about 1.5 litres of water, some food, just sat down and had a bit of a rest and feeling much better. I've also got the tent set up, so it's always nice when you've got a camp. It does make life a lot easier. It's the Nemo Dagger 2P, and I've already got everything set up. Nice and easy later on. Feeling much happier about the world. Initially I wasn't too excited about this place, but having sat here for a little while and just looked at it, it's actually a pretty beautiful place. It's not what I wanted, but you know, I'm going to make the best of it. So now, unfortunately, there is a national park fire ban at the moment. So I'm in Moultrie National Park. Yeah, I can't have a fire in here. So that's a bit of a bummer, but you got to respect the rules. And to be honest, it's pretty warm still. It's really muggy today, God. But yeah, it's the country's pretty dry, so I don't know if I would have had a fire anyway if I could have. That's all right. I'm going to get the fishing gear sorted, and then I'm going to go try for some bass. It's going to be pretty tricky fishing, I think, with this timber, but hopefully there'll be some fish hiding around too. So one of the reasons I want to come fishing here, the government stocks quite a lot of Australian bass. Australian bass are a beautiful eating fish, soft, delicate white flesh, really nice. They're a migratory species, and so now that there's a dam here, they can't naturally migrate out. They have actually built a fish ladder at the dam, at Tallawa Dam, which is pretty cool. I've never seen it working, but it's there, and it's pretty good that they put it in. but they do stock thousands of bass in here every year for recreational fishing, so why not give it a go? Well, that sucks. Literally out of nowhere, it just started raining. Like literally, it was like not even dark, not even cloudy. I can see blue sky out there, and it's raining. Anyway, it's like a bloody sauna in this tent. So, having a good time. I don't think there's much in it. I'll put the jacket on, go have a bit of fish. Well, wouldn't you know it, I just caught a fish. Problem was, it was about 10 centimeters, so quite small. But I'm using a new surface lure, which I'll show you in a sec. But it's really cool. It kind of just makes a lot of noise on the surface, and the little guy just smashed it. So let's hope it gets something bigger. I'm not sure what sort of fish it was. It didn't look like a bass, but I've got no idea what else it could be. It's good. He just smashed it like a meter away from the shore too. It was awesome. Alright, I'm going to set the camera up so you can see the action of the surface lure. It's really cool. I just have to say, this lure is proving to be excellent fun to fish. Because it doesn't sink, I'm not really worried about snags. So it's given me a lot of confidence to go in the trees. So it's getting dark now. I'm losing a bit of light. It's not far off 8 o'clock. Hopefully as it gets darker we'll have some luck. Well, not having a lot of luck, unfortunately. Oh, something flying up there. Don't know what that is. That's a big bird though. So yeah, losing light fast, unfortunately. Because I can't have a fire tonight, I'm probably just going to keep casting till it gets dark, and then I reckon I'll cook up some food. Yeah, that's what I reckon I'll do. Oh well, not much luck, unfortunately. Just the one little guy which I didn't even manage to film, so I'm sure many of you won't believe me, but wild lie about 10 centimeter fish. It's been good. It's been really, it's kind of like, it's almost dark now, and so the cicadas, the birds, everything's going just crazy, and you start hearing frogs. Yeah, it's been really nice just to stand here for, I don't know, probably an hour and a half or so, and just kind of absorb it and take it in. The bank's really difficult to walk on. It's just really soft mud, so that's why I've took my boots and my gaiters on, because otherwise it'd be coated in mud. So at least I can take that off before I go in the tent and keep everything clean. It's cooled down too, which is really good. I was really worried that the clouds would set in and it would just stay super muggy, but it looks okay at the moment. There's not much cloud around, so hopefully it gives it a chance to cool down, and that'll be awesome. It's been heat wave conditions, so Eastern Australia's had like just days and days of 40 plus temperatures. It's just been crazy. The water's actually really warm too, so I wonder if that's got something to do with the fish. Probably somewhere more deep in the channel that I can't get to from here. Oh, so I've got lots of exciting things with me. I've got a lot of veggies, so I'm going to cook up some veggies with my rice. Obviously no fish. And I've also got some nice cold beers. I think I've got 3 beers, but also froze a litre bottle of water just to keep everything nice and cool. And that way I also had some way to keep, if I caught a fish, which I didn't, but I'd then have some way to keep the fish cool so I wouldn't have to cook it immediately. That was the thinking anyway. A couple of staples with me tonight. I've got the bent spoke crankshaft. Now Canberra's really lucky that we've got 2 really good breweries, and we've got a few more that are popping up as well, but Bent Spoke and Capital Brewing. So this is their Crankshaft IPA. Like I said, it's one of my go-tos, so I don't actually bring it camping all that often, because it's kind of my kind of regular beer. But yeah, the whole lid comes off, so it's pretty cool. It's delicious. I'm very glad though that I rehydrated and waited, because yeah, I hit my limit today. I hit it in a big way, and you gotta, you know, I've done 5-6 day hikes and just smashed out 60 k's in, you know, really rough conditions, but today it was a 3 or 4 k's, and I could not have gone any further than I got today. So yeah, it's really important to listen to your body when you're out here, because when you go past your limit, that's obviously when mistakes happen, injuries occur. So anyway, I've rehydrated, I've had some food, so I think it's okay to have a beer. I'll see how I go. It's very strange not having a fire. I think the last time I camped, like proper camped, and didn't have a fire would have been 7 or 8 years ago when I was hiking in Tasmania. I did Frenchman's Cap, but yeah, it's a different experience. I was planning to do a bit of a gear video today. I've had a few questions about how do I prepare for a hike, how do I prepare for a trip like this, what do I take with me. Obviously you saw that I did a little bit on navigation, because that was another question I had. Obviously with the way I was feeling early this afternoon, I didn't have time or energy to film that segment. So I'll see how I go. I might do that tomorrow. If not, I might do a bit of a standalone video on my sort of typical gear loadout. Anyway, drop a comment below if that's something that would be of interest. Obviously there's a couple of people who are keen to hear about that, so I'll probably do something. But yeah, let me know if that's something you'd want to see. If you don't see in this video, we might do it tomorrow morning. Time to cut up some veggies. So I've got my Mora Companion heavy duty, awesome little knife, really cheap, very effective, good quality stainless steel. And I did make a Kydex sheath for it. What have I got? I've got broccoli, snow peas, and I've got like a little spring onion. So I reckon I'll just chop those up, and then they'll go into the water. I'll blanch them and then add the rice. I'm trying to use up, I've got a whole bunch of jet boil canisters which are kind of leftovers from previous trips, so I've just got a few of those with me and I'm going to try and use them up. Of course, now they've got the now that I've got the lights on, the bugs are coming out. No smoke to keep them away, which is a bit of a bugger. Chuck all these beans in. Oh, still sweating. It's so muggy. It's bloody horrible. This water came from the river, so I'm just going to give it a rolling boil. So I've got the old staple, continental rice. Oh man, I'm seeing some really cool wildlife. There's a frog here. I'll try and get him on the video. Where are you, buddy? Alright, would have been nice for some bass, but it wasn't to be. Time to tuck in. Oh, it's really good. Fresh. Okay, I think I've got the perfect beer to go with this meal. I've got a trail pale ale from Capital Brewing, back in Canberra as well. Again, another one of my staples, but not a bad beer. So yeah, a bit lost without a fire, to be honest. I mean, it's fine, but it's not really camping, is it? I'm going to enjoy my beer, and after that I think I'm going to retreat into the tent. Well, it is like a freaking sauna in here. It is so hot. I'm thinking about taking the fly off, but then I saw lightning in the distance, so I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to put up with it and live with it. I think I'm gonna just lay on top of the sleeping bag. I've got my silk liner. I'll use that, but probably just lay it on top of me, and then yeah, just strip down and hope I can not yeah, sweat everything out tonight. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's been a challenging day. One of the tougher days of walking I've had for a while. I think it's just the conditions, the humidity, and it wasn't all that hot when I started walking, but yeah. Anyway, you gotta make the most of it. This is a pretty cool spot actually. I've seen some really awesome things tonight. Some really unusual bugs and frogs and whatnot. So it is good to be outside. But yeah, it's gonna be tough tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna try and distract myself with a book. I think I'm gonna try and get up pretty early. I may have had a night fishing cast or two and got my lure snagged, so I'm gonna have to go for a swim in the morning and retrieve that one. It's difficult to hear if it's rain on the fly or if it's the bugs. I think it's the bugs flying up against it because the light's on in here. I'm going to turn this big light off because I have got about 1 million bugs in between the fly and the inner. Thankfully there is only 1 or 2 inside here, so I'm nice and protected, which is really good. We'll see what the morning brings. Cheers. Well, good morning. This water is warm, it's like a bath. Thankfully last night the temperature did drop and it was reasonably comfortable, so that was a big relief. Oh, it's good to be here. I've got the entire place to myself. Oh, apart from that plane overhead. Good brew. Alright, got some banana peppers and a bit of spring onion and coriander, a couple of eggs, a little bit of salami, and some mushrooms and a few cherry tomatoes from the garden. So a little bit of butter. So I think what I'm going to just do is just fry it all up in my little aluminium fry pan. They can go in whole. This is going to be a fantastic breakfast, much better than the old instant porridge, which gets a bit monotonous on the multi-day hike. So this is definitely verging on the more gourmet side. Definitely not lightweight, but because I'm only out here for one day, it's definitely doable. How good does that look? Scrambled eggs are champions, that's what that is. Alrighty, that looks about done to me. Oh yeah. Sizzling hot. Can't resist but go for a bit of salami first. Oh, that is superb. Hot tomato. Alright, I'm going to quickly smash this and then check in with you guys in a sec. So that was a pretty darn good breakfast. Yeah, one of the best breakfasts I've had out in the bush for sure. So I'm trying to weigh up what to do this morning. I'm still toying with the idea of doing some fishing, but that water is so warm. Like I have seen one big dirty carp swimming right up in the shore here, but I don't really want to catch carp. So yeah, toying up with the idea of going for another fish. It also feels like it's going to rain, and I'd really prefer not to have to set up the tent at home to dry it out when I get back. So I think I might pack up and then I'll leave the fishing rod out and I might have a few casts and then I'll probably call it quits. So look, I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. I had a few casts just before, just for a bit of fun. There's nothing happening, so I think I'm going to pull a plug and head home. I can't wait to do more of the stuff. I really enjoy coming out here and filming, and the whole sort of editing process and just being out in the wilderness is obviously an awesome thing too. So really want to get out and do some more bushcrafting. I am going to try and convince my mate Adam to come out and help me master the chicken rotisserie. I think it can definitely be done, and it'll certainly be easier with a two-man job, probably with a couple of nights, so you've got time to actually do it. So yeah, keen to do that, and then as winter kicks in a few months' time, yeah, there's going to be lots of trips, and yeah, a bit more hammock and tarp camping, and yeah, hopefully get up into the alpine country too, and do a bit of snowshoeing. So anyway, enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Hope all is well where you are, and we'll see you next time. Alright, cheers guys.